I have one small question. How in God's green earth did an Elden Ring review from SsethTzeentach get released and I wasn't told about it? Because I'm not allowed to know things. That's just the only conclusion I can draw from it. Warpugs, this is Elden Lean. This is requested by Decimeter, and honestly, guys, I'm surprised I did not find out about this far sooner. Usually if Maxor has covered something, you guys immediately request SsethTzeentach right after that for the same thing. But this one went for quite some time. I know Seth was in Maxor's Elden Ring review, but here we have the man himself. So, Warpugs, we're going to jump right into this. All of SsethTzeentach's links in the description down below, if I can talk. It is quite impossible sometimes. Guys, Good Times Rise with War Crimes shirt is now in the merch store. Go down there in the links below, check that out. Let's get into this. Here we go.
Hey people.
Hi.
Seth here. The following is highly experimental and may come off as disjointed or schizophrenic.
That's okay.
Care. Elden Ring, the newest hot release by Hideo Miyazaki of Ghibli Studios, famous for classic animations such as Howl's Moving Mausoleum and My Invader Totoro. From Software have really outdone themselves.
Crabs.
As this game features not one, but two crustaceans,
Oh.
possibly even more. Unfortunately, I haven't unlocked the ability to swim, so I cannot confirm or deny that. The game begins, and I make my character. His name? Sambubu. His class, naturally, is wretched. I did originally consider prisoner, but I chose not to. I take the key as my starting item, and live to regret it after I get immediate access to a side dungeon and get run over repeatedly by a speeding train. I chose instead to go the other way. After camping a few times, Melina comes by and offers me an accord. I turn it down because I think it's funny. I then proceed to kill Morgott and Godric before I realize I haven't leveled up. How was I supposed to know I had to say yes? Miyazaki, just because I'm offered the ability to talk to a woman doesn't mean I'm going to take it. I think that's a symptom of bad design. Conversely, I fell for the oldest trick in the book, the warm embrace of a woman's lap, only to find out 100 hours later it's actually a debuff. What did they mean by this? I guess I'll have to consult a 40-minute lore video to figure out the true symbology behind this item description. I tell you, passive storytelling at its very best, especially when half a characters either disappear, die, or start T-posing during your playthrough. This might bother people who believe there's a story, which is the
T-posing is the only true way to show absolute dominance, and anybody that thinks I'm wrong about that, you're completely incorrect, and I can prove it mathematically.
Equivalent of finding a bunch of random notes and thinking to yourself, damn, that book was wild.
Yes.
Halo's plot is crazy. Have you not read all the secret terminals? On the bright side, Dark Souls lore channels now have a steady source of bread for the next 4 years. I assure you, you'll know every side character better than your own family. I don't remember which war Granddad was fighting, but I do know Patches. I know that, canonically, he is circumcised. Honestly, I don't judge. I still get to have my wife Ronnie. What I'm criticizing is the involvement of this fat fuck. Celebrated all for helping to weave the narrative experience. Okay, let's see what this dude wrote. Sunset found her squatting in the grass, groaning. Every stool was looser than the one before and smelled fouler. By the time the moon came up, she was shitting brown water. The more she drank, the more she shat. But the more she shat, the thirstier she grew. And her thirst sent her crawling to the stream to suck up more water.
Adventures in Dysentery, everybody.
Rest my case. J.R.R. Martin is the greatest author who has ever lived. He has also never finished his books. And so, fittingly, From Software has embodied the spirit of J.R.R. Martin by never finishing a single quest line. Elden Ring is an ambitious platformer, and if you disagree, you haven't played the game, because half this game is jumping with a head start, or falling into a hole, into a canyon, into the place you originally wanted to, but accidentally jumped before doing so, adding an extra foot to the height of your fall, which turned it into a lethal descent. There's nothing I love more than jumping awkwardly off rooftops. But, how do we spice it up? Archers. You love archers.
Yes.
They're on every roof, and they've got tracking. And guess what? the sewer levels are back, and this time, they're essential to the plot. Yeah, I'm thinking game of the year. Calling the Mountaineer game Torrent, absolute genius. So anybody Googling Elden Ring Torrent gets a bunch of horse pictures instead. I can't wait until Elden Ring 2 features the popular and beloved character Codex de Nuvo Pre-Cracked No Virus. But why are we here?
Oh, dude. Oh, wait, I gotta take another screenshot.
We're here for the difficulty because we're hardcore gamers. Take it from me. I've already beaten the final boss, John Elden Ring, so I can give a few pointers. Have you ever used a weapon, armor, fast travel, potions, or opened the world map? I'm sorry to say, but you're playing the game wrong. This game is meant to be played level 1 as a wretch, using a single club, no upgrades. If you disagree, I'll call you a casual. If you ever hear someone talking like this, take pity on them, because this behavior is characteristic of someone who stacks no paper and gets no bitches. This game...
No maidens. 0. No jars.
Isn't hard. Not because it's not hard, but because video games fundamentally aren't hard. You know what's hard? The circumstances of life, getting a degree, having a stable family, being born with a baby arm. You're born and one arm develops normally into an adult arm, but the other is this stunted mini child arm, which stops growing at like 3 years of age. So you're this freakish monstrosity. You'll be known around town as Baby Arm Man, and the only job you'll ever have is baby arm stock photo, because it's harder for them to get a kid to pose for that. It's a lot more convenient to have a malformed monstrosity.
What is he even talking about?
Furthermore, I genuinely believe that pattern recognition is a form of cheating. Your Homo sapiens brain is literally destroying the difficulty of the experience by compensatory adaptation. I hope that people consider this in the future and later learn to recognize that the truest From Software experience would be a lobotomite run, where prior to playing, we perform a frontal lobotomy and sever your prefrontal cortex. Sometimes...
Why is all this crap on the screen right now? Why? Why is this crap on the screen right now? This is kind of driving me a bit crazy. I'm just saying. Slay crabs from 0 to 10,000. Log in 200 times, road die 50 times. Eat Godric, the god of Ricks. He is hiding in Stormvale Castle like a little bitch. Okay.
The only option you have to preserve the purity of your experience is brain damage. Multiplayer enhances the experience. Sometimes you'll see white phantoms briefly appear. These are players from other worlds going through their own journey. Once, I saw a white phantom appear, teabagging a dead NPC. In this moment, I knew I was playing a masterpiece. Messages and appraisal are exactly how Reddit users believe karma works. You upvote, and you get actual physical nourishment from the karma. Oh look, a message on the floor. Maybe someone out there will tell me something useful. Then you open it and read it, only to see dog butthole, closely followed by Fortnite. According to a true story, once upon a time, Miyazaki's car broke down in the middle of a road. This was during winter, so no help was to be found.
That's
when
sad.
Suddenly, 3 strangers appeared out of nowhere, sucked him off, and left without even saying a word. And that's how Miyazaki got the inspiration for Souls multiplayer game.
Why?
Play. Flawless, stunning, effervescent. Just like Bloodborne was a complex allegory for sexually transmitted HIV, Elden Ring is a rich synesthesia between seeing Swampland and remembering Blighttown, or hearing Leyendell long after you've left the capital, because my ears are still ringing from the sound of those fucking trumpets. Actual real critique. No jokes, no giggles. I think every boss should have a stake of America outside the boss room. Generally, this is true, but sometimes I gotta walk. And traditionally, I do not consider cardio as part of a boss fight. Now, the walks are more generous than any other Souls game, but just because somebody chose to take a smaller shit in my rice doesn't change the fact that it's still there, inside my bowl, steaming up my Tupperware. I would also have originally said that the death screen is quite long, but then I realized it's working as intended. You see, when you die in PvP, you have no option but to watch helplessly as someone spams point down and repeatedly defiles your dead body. My complaints are are pretty mild. If, like me, you didn't realize Vigor has a non-linear scaling, it would have helped immensely to know that going 10 to 20 makes no tangible difference, but 20 to 40 is all the difference between taking a blow and getting one-tapped by most of a game.
Right.
I wish I knew that at the start. Luckily, this game is very generous with its ability to reroll your character. If you're still paranoid, you can back up your save at no risk. I've done this more than 100 times. Reroll your character. If you're still paranoid, you can back
Blueprint for Spellcapture, spoof save game from some guy. Finish good game. Blueprint. Okay.
up your save at no risk. I've done this more than 100 times without issue and recommend you do the same.
Okay.
Because despite what anybody says, there's a million ways to brick your save. I've done it. I can reproduce it. It's still there. Also, easy anti-cheat is a very good anti-cheat because it's very easy to turn off. My friend may have done exactly that and more. Tell me, Seth, was he punished? Is he bad? No. Some of the later fights have interesting hitboxes. Not like I care. I cheesed through that shit. This game makes you realize the greatest companion you'll ever have is yourself. So
yes.
Why not make a copy? Lore. Before continuing, we have to stop and talk about the best character in the game. Dung Eater. Loathsome Dung Eater. Ferocious feaster of feces. Devious doo-doo devourer. Dung Eater consumes excrement, feces, shit even. Nihilistic and with a wicked sense of humor. His greatest desire is to eat the poo-poo and of course murder you and defile your dead body. I think there's a lot we can learn from Dung Eater, but as a society, we're not yet ready for that conversation.
I don't think I'm ever going to be ready for that conversation, just saying.
Builds. There's many builds. Strength is terrible until you realize you can power stance through the entire game and block everything else with barricade shield for 0 stamina. Going strength, unfortunately, puts you at the highest risk group for naming yourself the Black Swordsman and cosplaying as your favorite slice of life anime. If I see you doing this, I'll summon you intentionally so I can kick you from my world. Dexterity. Do you enjoy katanas? How about double katanas? Each one longer than the last. Using realistic, historically accurate sword techniques from feudal-era Japan? What about epic PvP compilations? Say no more. Get a river of blood today. Intelligence. Some would say a great deal of their enjoyment comes from learning the moveset of every boss. A rhythmic dance between sword, swipe, and parry. A lethal symphony, silenced only by death. Others would disagree. I'm confident that if you ask any player running sorcery, what's their favorite boss, they'll recoil in surprise and say, I don't know any. I just sit at the back and spam Azure Comet. Faith. Incantations are very good. Abusing the animation of Catch Flame to cast them instantaneously is even better. And before you say it, I know. It's working exactly as intended.
There
you
you
know
go.
What else is intended? This. Also, this. And this. My greatest enjoyment of this game, beyond the exploration, the richness of the graphics, and the scale of the world they made, has been abusing every mechanic I possibly can before it gets patched out. And
that is the spice of life, ladies and gentlemen. That is the only way that some people can enjoy this. I know that if I'm playing a game and I'm being competitive in it, I will exploit the hell out of a situation.
And so, inevitably, I have taken to abusing other players. You might call them humans. I call them people who use Moonveil unironically. And thus, I feel no remorse for any of my actions. In summary, Elden Ring attracts many different responses. Some fillet the long shaft of FromSoft endlessly. Others hate it because of their own incompetence. Walking manifestations of a Dunning-Kruger effect, these people believe that failure is not their own and somehow inflicted upon them by the universe. You can't be bad at video games, as video games are merely a subject matter. No, that is a deficit in your cognitive ability, something that likely plagues you in every aspect of your life. In summary, if you're bad at video games, you're bad at life. You've got a smooth brain and a low IQ. Your fate is to be a grunt in the New World Order. And
that makes me sad.
Others, like me, who are quietly waking up to the fact that maybe we should have never dropped those bombs to begin with. I guess what I'm trying to say is Elden Scrolls 10 out of 10 garbage. I love it. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. If you're interested in some merchant multiplayer, password FUGHUNT goes in all fields. First 52 Bugs getting 15% off their first month of FugHunters.com, the official sponsor of this video. And now, allow me to conclude this presentation with some calming visuals. Rest assured, most of the things seen here can no longer be afflicted on another human being. A warm thanks to the many members of a Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
Okay.
Yeah. Get out of here with that shit, man. Yo, you don't know me and you don't know I'm going through, so fuck you and your lame ass point of view. That should have been my whole mission from the start. You put it together, I tear it all apart. What? Gotta get my step.
What? Okay, hold on. What's this?
Cash, gotta get the dough. If it means kill 'em all, then I won't say no.
You're a madman.
All right. All right. That's, yep, that's all I needed, baby.
That's amazing.
Calling Hideo Miyazaki at 3 a.m. Hello? 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 Hideo Miyazaki?
Why? Wow, that's just kind of messed up. I'm just saying. That's just a little bit messed up. I'm just saying. War pugs. War pugs. I want to know why he went on that rant that he did in the middle of this video. I want to understand why. I want to grasp it. But I don't think I'm ever going to be able to. My brain does not work at that level. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Guys, Elden Ring is a game I didn't play. I didn't play Dark Souls 1 or 2 either. Simply for the fact that I never got it. Got it, if you understand. I've had a couple of games that I've played, but there has not been many times that I have been tempted to play Dark Souls, mainly because, well, I just never really can sit down and finish a game. It's just not something I can do. I don't know what's wrong with me mentally where I can't do that, but the only reason I actually finished the Halo games is because I had everybody was watching me play them, so I was just like, okay, I'll finish the game. Most games, though, for some reason, I just stopped playing about midway through. I don't know why that is. I revisit them later, I start up a whole new save, and then I play them and stop about halfway through. It's just the way I am. There are things wrong with me. Warpugs, all of Seth's links are going to be in the description down below. Go check him out. I will take English classes. And I will see you guys next time. As far as if you're wondering when I'm going to be getting out of this place, I still don't know the answer to that. I'm hoping to find out later in the next 2 days. I'll let you guys know. Until then, my cat annoys me, and I'm on.